Hello and welcome to this AFC Champions League Two Group E matchday 1 game between Sydney FC and Eastern here from the Jubilee Stadium in Sydney. And a bubbling atmosphere inside the Jubilee Stadium today. Expectations as the AFC Champions League 2 gets underway. It is a clear night, a little bit of high cloud, 18 degrees, not too much humidity and a little bit of a breeze. Absolutely perfect for playing football this evening. And the two sides who have never met each other before in any Champions League competition will be looking to make inroads in Group E. And of course, they have plenty of games lined up before them in this Champions League group. Kaya is also there in the group, just 14, very much on the same premise as last year's Champions League. The two sides will be battling out to go through to the zonal finals on the next leg. Let's have a little look at the host, Sydney FC, the Sky Blues, founded in just 2004. The coach is Ufuk Talay, and he was installed in 2023. Their domestic season has not yet started, so this is their first competitive match of the season. Finished 4th out of 12 clubs last season, and they have had an extensive pre-season, so hopefully that will translate itself into form when they get onto the field of play. Aze, Sanfrecce, Hiroshima, Kaya, the other two sides in this group with them. They have had a pretty successful time of it, if we're honest with you, in the world of Australian football, so they will be looking to keep up the Australian flag in the world of football. Their AFC Champions League record reads as first time group stage in 2007 and 2011. Their best ever finish in the Champions League was in 2016 when they got to the last 16. Otherwise, it's been group stage in 2018, 19, 20 and 22. This is one that they will need to put to bed, you fancy, quite early, but their opposition, the Eastern Sports Club, Eastern now known as from Hong Kong, they have been founded a lot longer, and their Champions League record isn't quite as good. Their AFC Cup record isn't bad, and they will be renowned for having won Bobby Moore of England as their coach back here in 1981, 1982. And they'll also be renowned for the wonderful person called Chan Yuan Ting, who was the first female coach of a men's pro side in the 2017 AFC Champions League. So well done. But they are currently, after 2 games, top of their league in Hong Kong. Well, the two sides now ready for action. Always interesting when you've only had pre-seasons, and it doesn't matter how strenuous the pre-season is. Can always be a little bit different when something's up for grabs, i.e. the points in a Champions League Group E match. That will change very quickly once they're on the field of play. Any dwelling on the football will be seized upon. Sydney in the sky blue, all white for Eastern from Hong Kong. There's a good atmosphere in. When you see the camera, you can see it looks like a coach or tennis just turned up. I think the burger van might be doing quite some sales down below. There's a main stand which the camera gantries in that you'll see pictures from. The rest of the ground will look a little bit quiet, but I can tell you there's quite an atmosphere bubbling up inside the Jubilee Stadium for this Champions League 2 game. Brian Grant, the captain, model of concentration. Opposite number, Chun Pong Leung. Here's the Champions League anthem. football. It doesn't matter how or where it is played. The competition, man against man, team against team, is always so complex. The story will unfold as we look on. That man in your picture, Costa, is somebody that Sydney will be hoping with his Brazilian roots can bring some football of the Brazilian style. Shaven head there for Jordan Courtney-Perkins. Josh Lolly just gone through the picture as well. Daniel Almazan, the tall head. Callum Hall, Scott, playing in Hong Kong. Marcos Gondra, defensive midfielder. Noah Baffo, Alex Jojo, and Victor Ortomeo. This is one I've got a lot of interest in terms of the evenness of the game, the opportunities in the game, the stories that will unfold. 3 points a must for the side from Sydney. Dale will be looking at this and thinking, let's get off to a great start. 3 points can make such a world of difference in a 4-team group. Whereas Roberto Lasada, his side are into proper competitive football. They'll take 3, but they'll settle for 1 as well. Team photos done. Matthew Hayden, that. Not Hayden Matthews, Matthew Hayden, cricketer. Hayden Matthews, the tallest man at the back there. No changes for Sydney. This is their first competitive game of the season, so from here on in the change will be made and counted from there. Harrison Deverish-Mears is the man preferred in goal, but they do have a solid bench as well. Ufuk Talay, former player. Today's match officials are from Indonesia. No VAR today. The referee is Thurik Munir Al-Khatiri, assisted by Bang Bang Sayam Sudha and Nur Hadi. Fourth official on the line is Yudi Nurkaya. A little look here. 3 changes from the side that beat the Northern District 5-1 on the 12th of September. They have let out Wang Young and Leung at left back. They're replaced by the Callum Hall, the young Scot. There's one change that's come in, as well as Jesse Yu. Of course, the other change in the middle of the park is that King Ting Lim has come in as well. Danny Almazan. First touch. Every player's head will be screaming, good first touch. Get it under control. And we're off. Noah Baffo with the first ball back. It's not long for the chase in behind. It's tidy bit of defensive work on the far side straight away. Joel King. Aidan Matthews. Ryan Grant. Click on that. Costa running behind by Josh Lolly. Well shepherded on this near side. Ufuk. Talai. Stress before the game that their pre-match or their pre-season had been very hard. The greatest of work, Grant near side. This is at the centre half. Joel King through the hole to Anas Kahim. Ryan Grant again. Douglas Costa. Lolly gets the ball away. Neatly picked off. Nice beat by Noah Bafo. Little trip inside there. Referee saw it. The man that went over the hanging leg was, of course, Jesse Yu. Roberto Lasada, the coach from the Eastern Division, was asked, Eastern side, was asked what he knew about Sydney and said, well, we know nothing yet. They haven't played a game, but we know what to expect. Berta Mayo, one of a few Spanish people in this Hong Kong side. Smith's got himself in a little tangle there, and they've got away with a loose touch ultimately. That's given them the ball back. Ethan Lang there is the man with the errant pass. Long, gain the target. At the front, the Polish forward, Patrick Glimala. Gets a toe in there. Trying to find Lolly on this near side. Glimala goes for it again. Seems to be a little more urgency from the home side. Trying to get the ball forward, that's for sure, in his opening 3 minutes. Costa, Lolly. Kahim should break here, Patrick. Well, he couldn't quite get the shot, it was blocked off. Flag might have gone up there for Patrick Glimala. But he did pounce onto it quickly. Onside as well. Ultimately, excellent defending there by Tamerlan Kozabayev. Two over the corner, Costa and Kahim. Well, they go short. Be Kahim to take it away from goal. It's not a bad ball in, bundled across the face of goal. Kahim gets it back, supported by Costa. Costa. Set a short pass there to Sakeres. Grant with the return. And in the end, that's a strong challenge, which has sent the ball into the penalty area by Anas Kahim, but it's easy for Hung Fai Yap just to gather by his left post. Well, there's going to be no tiki-taka football outside the 18-yard box for Eastern. Up it goes. Bertomeo with the header on. Nobody running beyond. Just popping up on this near side. Back to Grant. Inside this time to Matthews. Senna. Grant. Senna again inside. Costa. Two Brazilians combining. Senna. Lolly with the layoff. Rolls off the tongue. Lolly with the throw. Costa's first touch is a bit like mine, really, there. And anyway, the ball goes forward from Jesse Yu. Costa gets it back. Shows it. Lolly takes his man on onto his left foot. Well, maybe should have gone down the outside, and the flick backs made him turn round. Caceres back to Joel King. Around the corner. Dumala, lovely footwork here. Can he finish? Been forced wide. And again, Tamerlan Kozobayev was the man that forced him out on the far side. And that's Kahim. Lovely nutmeg there of Callum Hall. Just for a moment, we thought it was going to open up for Kahim. Mayo has gone down under a challenge of two players there. There was Courtney Perkins with Joel King. Ball takes it back to Kozobayev. Square ball to... It's got Danny on his shirt. Daniel Almazan. And now back to Hung Fai Yap. Clearance isn't good enough, if I can say so myself. Overlap outside. Courtney Perkins not used. King. Caceres. Senna. Perkins. Like his legs gave way. Ball's going to be driven deep here. Target at the back here is Lolly. Lolly wins a header. Good header away by Danny Almazan. Senna. Grant. Pretty much as we expected with the home side dominating possession in his first 8 minutes. Can they find the opening? Leonardo Senna. Maybe expansive, but that header was covered off on the far side quite nicely, ultimately. Well, there's a shot in anger. Keeper spills it. Shot fired in then from distance by Anthony Caceres. Keeper had to get it up. Berta Mayo wants to get on with the game. Way up down smartly to his left-hand side just moments ago. Just at the moment they're being penned back. It's quite a high press from Sydney. As we see the shot just bounced in front of Hung Fai Yap. Shot coming in from Anthony Caceres. One thing that Eastern have got to be careful of in this game is not to give the ball away straight to Lolly. And that is a problem they are facing at the moment. Retention of the ball in their own half is not good. Turnover is quite a lot. Chumpong Leung gets the ball back, but it's just fired away, and it's at the moment it's being aimlessly hit forward by Eastern and picked off by Sydney. Grant. Goes back to Grant. Grant back to Matthews. Matthews across to King. King with a diagonal. Lolly the target. Headed away on this near side by Alex Jojo. Caceres. Grant. Spin by Kahim. Costa. Senna to Caceres. Have to find a way of picking a hole here at the moment, Sydney, because whilst they are dominating possession, as Costa with a lovely little track back trying to get away that time from Winting Lam. He ain't just given away, just cleared aimlessly. Eastern need to be a lot more cautious when playing the ball forward. Easy for me to sit in the commentary box and say that, but it is pretty evident. Caceres. Senna. Caceres. Nobody tracks the run. Can he pull it back? Danny Almazan gets it away. Edge of the box now. Senna with the shot. Could be a long afternoon or early evening here. Costa now left foot. Blocked this time by Winting Lam. A foul in the penalty area. Well, the warning signs are there from the side from Hong Kong. In fairness, Marcos Gondra took the shove in the back well from Anas Kahim and made the most of it. Almazan, Danny Almazan, long ball. Noah Baffo tries to run in behind Matthews, tied it up by King. King, though, well, Bertomeo not happy with the complete flattening of Courtney Perkins. Interesting. Senna, Cacares, Kahim back to Cacares, Costa. Senna, Kahim, Costa. A lot of fluidity about this Sydney side. Fortunate touch there by Cacares. Noah Baffo comes forward. Gondra, near side, Jojo. Noah Baffo is in behind Matthews, plays it square, nice touch here, can't get it out of his feet. Bertomeo gets a shot off and it's finally blocked by King, and it's a corner. And that will have done the confidence of Eastern. The Paragood, Bertomeo couldn't quite get it out of his feet, which just allowed King to block the shot. Could have been shades of offside. Certainly saw the arm up down below us by the coach Ufuk Talay. Now let's see, what do we got? Zonal or man marking from Sydney? Well, it's a mixture, 50-50. Zonal inside the 6-yard box. Fired deep round the back. Gondra got the header on it. Kahim gets it down. One back, sprintingly one back by Chun Pong Leung. And then given away. An open game, pretty much, in this first 14 minutes. Sydney dominating sort of territorial possession. But Eastern doing just what you need to do as an away side, just making Sydney think. Kahim tries to find Costa. Kahim gets it back. Lolly. Kahim, outside of him, Courtney Perkins on the overlap, but elects not to use him. Goes back to Cacares. Senna comes forward again. Lovely dick ball in, just too high this time for Patrick Klimala in the centre of the 6-yard box. Well, they are knocking on the door of the rear guard of Eastern, but that break just moments ago is completely what the head coach Ufuk Talay will be wary of. It will feel a little bit easy for Sydney to keep picking these balls off as they have done again and camping in the half of Eastern. That can lead to too many players trying to get forward into positions and maybe just making it all a little bit tight for space going forward. But it also means that a swift break, and we've seen the pace already of Noah Baffo, could be a real problem. Referee plays advantage, Joel King. Cacares, King again. That's Senna just behind him, Cacares, King. Trying to tease a little space for Sydney inside the Eastern half. Nice ball forward to Cacares. Rolled into the feet, not quite with the accuracy to Kahim, and fed away. Noah Baffo. Back to Callum Hall, free kick on the touchline. Well, if you're going to give away a free kick, make sure it's midway in the opposition's half and not your own. Again, if I'm going to pick a picture for you, if I'm going to pick a story for you of how things will now go, because of the domination of Sydney in the opposition half, it will be trying to check. Look at that ball given away again by Almazan. Can't keep doing this Eastern Division. But what I'm saying is they've got to not all pull forward thinking this is straightforward, we can get a hatful here, because it will close the space down for Sydney to work in. They've got to time their runs, they've got to be cautious with their runs forward. But they also, and this is the other thing, they've also not got to get frustrated if they don't get their noses in front, which can happen. Kahim and Costa stand over the ball. Grant tries to peel around the back. He'll be looking for the drop-off when the man goes up to address the ball from the defenders to play on one side. Costa goes short, rifles a left foot shot in. This time it's well into the body of the man wearing number 14 there, which is Jesse Yu. Would have felt that. Oh, big centre half, Matthews. Almost turned into a left winger there, and then got his rather long legs into a little bit of a tangle. 17 minutes gone. Quick look at our little monitors that we have here to help us with replays and such alike, and I tend to look at the heat map. It's pretty consistent in the eastern half. I don't need a heat map to say that. I can tell you as I tell you about the game. And even then, Kozabayev was given the ball to try and feed it forward, and he was blocked with a big press from Klimala. That man in your picture, he will be thinking, we need to get a breakthrough. We need to have a goal to manage the game. Good press there. And a free kick given away by being a little over-eager there from Caceres, but you can see the press that Sydney are trying to do. And Eastern must be pretty much on their game. Won the weekend by 5-1 against Northern District, but different opposition when it comes to Champions League Two football. Yap, headed on by Gondra, who's largely quite anonymous because the ball has been played through the midfield. Leonardo set up to King. King across to Matthews. Matthews has Grant one side, but again, nice pass through the centre. Senna trying to get away. Has a little nibble at him, and down he goes. Burton Mayo. Jojo handed away there by King. To turn there. Get the ball down the line to Lolly. Lolly inside finds Kahim. Bit of space out to his left-hand side, but elects to go back. Joel King joins in. Costa goes to ball. Costa gets it back. Better ball, had a bit of space for Caceres, and Lolly. Lolly with a chance to attack. Jojo goes outside him. Crossing is not bad. Lolly couldn't quite get on the back flick there. And that was Ryan Grant, the right back, that got down to the dead ball line for that. Sounded a bit shocked, but it was. That is the captain, Ryan Grant, there with a back heel. And that, symptomatic of what I just said, that's the right back in attack. Now it's not wrong for the right back to join the attack, but it is going to preclude people finding space when they go forward. If they feel they can all push forward, you've got two options there. One, you can just literally deny each other space up front, and secondly, you could be caught out of the back. Kahim, Klimala. Infield, Caceres, Lolly to Costa. Costa wasn't ready for it. Still though, Lolly with a shot, deflection, oh, just loops up and over the top of the crossbar. Again, nobody wanted the ball. Lolly with the shot. It was Danny Almazan that's got the deflection. Second corner here for Sydney. Taken short this time. Kahim. Costa, I'm not sure he was ready for that. Left foot ball in. Big header away by Gondra. High boot there. Into the body of the Sydney player by captain Chun Pong Leung. A little battle scar there for Joel King. It's actually Berta Mayo with the hook. Cameraman caught me a tartar there. Costa. Lolly. Lolly going to take on a Hall. Goes outside him. Lolly with a deep cross. Back post stood up. Headed in by Grant. Hacked away in the middle of the penalty area this time. There's Mayo trying to pull his side forward, but he's 20 yards in front of the other 10 players of Eastern, which is allowing Sydney space. Romsra got a toe in. It's a lone furrow for the big number 9. Lolly again, driving forward. Ball inside isn't good enough. Bafo with 3 around him. Has it taken off him, smuggled away by the captain Ryan Grant. Grant finds Senna. Senna finds Cacares, and Costa goes outside Hall. Crosses a little long, little deep. Near side, Jojo's got to deal with it. Still Sydney keep the pressure on. In the end, Jesse Yu clears the ball. Midway through the first half of this game. Still goalless between Sydney and Eastern in this Group E matchday 1 game. Alexander Jojo tries the ball off. Header on by Marcus Gondra. Bafo can't keep the ball in possession. Sydney win it back. Senna. Carson. Senna again. Look at the left back. Jordan Courtney-Perkins midway inside the opposition half. Almost denying Douglas Costa the space. He's coming short out on the left-hand side, just receiving the ball now, because the man that's gone beyond him is the left back. Matthews. King. Costa. Courtney-Perkins. Can he do something here? Rolls it into the right area. Excellent defending, diving back towards his own goal by Leung. Short corner, slightly different angle for Eastern to defend. Costa swings the ball away. In the end, the header, I think, from Lolly, high up and over the bar. Yep. Came down and was always heading it from underneath the ball. Drums and percussion instruments supplied to get some rhythm to the game. Jesse Yu. Jojo. Almazan. Joel King. Just send it back to Devon Dennis Mears, who's been a spectator for the majority of it, but the press from Eastern, well, it's played around in the end by Sydney, and Grant will come away with it, but it was just a moment that you felt that there could have been a little issue for Sydney. Sena, crossfield ball, Courtney Perkins. First touch is that of a left back, allows Callum Hall to get across. Throws it against the legs, but Sydney still pick up the loose ball. Costa with a nice touch, feeds it back to King. King inside to Sena and Costa. I would say there's 9 blue shirts beyond the ball here. Martin, since Ryan Grant had it down. Alex Jojo on a charge. If he can play this right, it's a real chance here of a break. Bertomeo, right foot. Good save by Dennis Mears, and that's exactly what I've been saying. I don't want when you've played the game as most of us will have played in some respects, but at some standard, you cannot afford to neglect your defensive duties and think there's a chance to score a goal here. You're not 11 years of age, you're a pro footballer. You've got to play it the right way. Courtney Perkins, Costa. And I don't blame the Sydney players, it's easy for them. Real chance here. Lovely clearance in the end by Daniel Almazat. When the game feels easy as it is for Sydney at the moment, they will flood forward, always thinking that they can get a goal, but it can be counterproductive. Costa with the ball at his feet now. Courtney Perkins now dancing like a good one. Clips it in, easy take there for Hung Fai Yap. Really was a quick break, counter-attacking football, and a keeper that had been watching the game from afar, Dennis Mears, with a lovely save down to his right-hand side. Gondra. It is it's a pattern I've seen so many times. It's all about the timing of the break forward. It's all about flooding the gaps when you're beyond. It's not about thinking we can all go forward. King with a poor header. Bertomeo, can he get onto it? He can. Has he found a goal? No. Well, the man in your picture now has had 2 chances in quick succession. We've also seen a shot from Bafo deflected up and over the bar. And in all honesty, for your commentator, I can tell you now that those 3 chances are better than anything Sydney have fashioned with all their territorial possession. That would be my message if I was on the touchline now. I don't think I'd have a voice if I was on the touchline now. Jesse Yu, supported by Jojo. No foul there. Went down far too easily from Kahim. Kahim now on the charge. Will go down if he gets a little buffeting here. And does get a little buffeting. The man that came in, Hinting Lab, gets a yellow card. I'm not so sure there was much of a touch there. But you always felt that Anas Kahim was going to find the turf. Just seemed to be running out of legs. It's a rather enjoyable game. Lolly. Costa. Doesn't fancy his right boot, that's for sure. Costa. Lolly in on his left. Pulls it back to his right, wants it back on his left. Maybe one turn too many when it dropped to his left for the first time. Might have pulled the trigger. Kakares. Sena. King. Perkins back to King, inside to Sena. with a little give and go. Well, that man might look concerned, but he'll be very happy with the fact that after 31 minutes his side have travelled here to Sydney, been under the cosh, a drawing 0-0, and possibly had 3 very good chances, more clear-cut chances than anything that Sydney have yet to muster. No. Gonzalo with the header on. Courtney Perkins getting the ball down. Sena looking for the run in behind. Klimala. Given away by Eastern. Not a good position. Costa. Wants the overlap from Grant. Oh, lovely run by Grant. Can he pull it back? He can. Real chance here. Must score. It's in and back of the net there from Kahim. Well, they finally do break the deadlock in the 33rd minute. A lovely overlapping run by Grant. Pulled back. And Anas Kahim, one touch out of his feet, tucks it through the centre. Really had to score. Didn't think he was going to fluff his lines for a moment there. Lovely ball here by Costa, by the way. Terrible shutting off by Jojo. Just thought he'd made a little bit of a heavy touch, but Anas Kahim, he had it under control. Through the legs of Hall, through the legs of Kyung Fai Yap, and it's 1-0. Look at the space he had ultimately in the middle of the box. But I think if we cherry pick or go back step by step by step, it was Eastern that gave away possession in their own half. Well, that should settle the Sydney nerves a touch. As they drive forward again, Costa gets away from Hall. Covering defender, getting a foot in over on the far side was Captain Leung. Contra. From Spain, in the middle of the park, wearing a 27. Hasn't really been able to, but Eastern hasn't really got around the park enough for me. It's very dangerous times now, just in the final 12 minutes of the half here for Eastern, because they have been breached and Sydney may well send another one, which could put the second half and the size of the task ahead of Eastern right at the top of the mountaintop. Costa, King, slipped in, running behind, Lolly! Good save by Hung Fai Yap. Costa. Courtney Perkins wanted it, ran inside it. Good touch this time by Kahim again. Cross the face of goal, couldn't find the head of the Polish striker, Patrick Klimala. Lovely little goal celebration to the camera. After making that save, Fayab down, feeling the pain down by his above his right ankle. It has been a chastening opening 36 minutes, I'll have to say, for Eastern, which they've done pretty well for 33 before being breached. You could say the pressure was always going to tell, and I Pretty sure the man in the centre there, Ufuk Talay, will be saying what we actually need to do is just relax and not go gung-ho through the centre. They're getting a lot of bodies forward. It does concern me because there has been very good chances at the other end for Eastern on the counter-attack. Again, the run through, flag will go up, but Mayo was the man that had gone too early. Just half a yard. Costa. Sena. Lolly. Taking on Jojo. Lolly with a cross. Decent ball. Good header away by Kozabayev. King. Into the box. Caceres. Klimala tries to spin. Is back there by Kozabayev to clear. Taken short. Sydney just want to get on with it. Lolly. Lovely layoff. Lolly again. Straight down the body, or the throat, we should say, of Hungvaya. Beautiful layoff there by Caceres. Back it comes again. Caceres. Lolly coming in from the left this time, taken on Hall or across the front. What a save that is! Klimala with a lovely turn off, but let's take our hats off there to Hungvaya, getting down to his left-hand side and palming it away. Buffo. Long ball forward, Burton Mayo trying to get through the back. Friendly love tap into the back there of Joel King. What a fine save that was from Yap. That could have been 2-0. When we use the word relax, if you are indeed Ufuk Talay, it's not a case of going leisurely about it. It's about don't force the pass and don't force the runs. If you get too many runs in front of the ball, that's when it all gets a bit tight. We just saw then that relax, played at the right tempo and the right speed. Different kettle of fish altogether for you. Costa steps inside of Jojo. Jojo's done well. Bit of a late challenge there. Just to say that Sena's gone down. Lolly with the ball in. Klimala tries on the turn. All a little bit last in defending now by Eastern. Costa with a shot always going wide. Leo set up. Full stretch. Front four studs onto the foot. Like I'd like my house to be, minimalistic, I think that touch was. Instead of full of clutter. 14 minutes on the clock, Sydney 1, Eastern 0, 33 minutes. Lovely work from Grant with a drag back. Saw Kahim 7 yards out in the middle of the goal. Put the ball in the back of the net. Almazan. Jojo. There's a little nibble there, and I thought it was Kahim. It was with the nibble, the goal scorer. Wasn't disguised very well either. Buffo taken in his stride, hit him on the back. Caceres, Kahim. Surrounded by two. Young, Buffo on the break yet again. Devon Ishmears comes out and smothers, keeps the ball inside the penalty area and then quickly dispatches it. Cacares and Senna bossing the midfield, which is allowing Kahim to wander wherever he wants, and Costa. And Eastern have struggled with that fluidity. Courtney Perkins, Costa, Cacares. Matthews got space to run into. Lolly faces Jojo, back on his left. A bad effort into the box, but again, Almazan with a header away. But Sydney just picking them apart here. Grant lofts it up, but it's going to go over the crossbar and away for a goal kick. Well, we're into the 42nd minute. Ufuk Delay, the coach of Sydney, will be very happy now that his side have broke the deadlock, but I'm sure there'll be a little bit of an authoritative chat at half-time. Just trying to get his message over that they need to put the game to bed. Jesse Yu, the target, got space here, brings it down nicely. Gondra's gone in front. In the end, it's a poor ball in by Jesse Yu. And there's space in behind. The complete opposite there for the side from Hong Kong. They try and catch Sydney on the counter-attack. Well, Sydney quite enjoy it when they do come forward. Lovely work. Lolly! Deflection! And wide by Almazan. Costa getting away from Hall. Fullback's good. Lolly with a shot. Almazan would have had his heart in his mouth just as he's stretching here. Costa to deliver. Decent ball again. Grant! Oh, it's 2-0. He just wandered in. Captain Grant in the 44th minute. He just wandered in, got in front of his man, and bowed down to head it in. This is awful marking at the back by Hing-Ting Lang. And he knows it, he's just completely out-muscled. He's half asleep, really. It's a terrible bit of marking. His hands go up to his head straight away. He knows. Hing-Ting Lam just pushed off the ball, and Grant had more desire to head it, and head it he did. Sydney 2, Eastern 0. We're into the final minute of the first half. Eastern now. To say that when that first goal went in, they had 12 minutes to negotiate towards a half-time break. Did I get it caught there? Referee says no. Ball in, headed up in the air. Noah Bafo back to goal. Jesse Yu, the man that just had the worst bit of defended marking, has a shot. I think it was redirected by Burton Mayo, but it was taken easily there by Devonish Mears. Just the 1 minute to be added on at the end of the first 45. Sydney have the advantage. The advantage their possession and territory have deserved. Long time in that first half, it looked as though they were going to get in each other's way to try and get themselves in front. But they have finally reaped the benefits. Gondro's down. Went down earlier in the piece and thought he'd been fouled. He has decided that the referee, Thorik Al-Khatiri needs to be shown the damage that has been done to his foot. That's a little face of resignation there from Roberto Losada. Excuse me. This was the breakthrough here, and a step on the foot there by Sena. Will they patch him up in the change rooms at half-time? Not sure. What I can tell you is he's feeling a lot of pain on the top of his left boot. Roberto Losada having a little look. Because the boots are so lightweight. Very easy to snap a bone in your foot. Looks as though they're going to see what they can do at half-time for Marcos Gondra. Costa. Space here for Grant, who's had a hand in the first goal and scored the second. Lolly with the run in beyond. Pulled back. Lolly again. Just maybe had a little too much steam in between his eyes as he saw that drop to him 7 yards out. Well, that's the half-time whistle blown by Rorik Al-Khatiri. And a first half where the heat map shows it's been absolutely scorching inside the eastern half. Grant with the late back for Anas Kahim to score on 33, and Grant himself heading in on 44. At the break here at the Jubilee Stadium, it's Sydney 2, Eastern 0. Do join me for the second half.
This fact also has been launched out for budding stars to shine on the continental club stage. Witness the passion, the grit, and the raw talent of 20 aspiring teams representing the vibrant tapestry of Asian football. The Champions League is not just about winning, it is about fostering development and a spirit of growth that will benefit the entire Asian football ecosystem in years to come. This is the AFC Challenge for the believers, for those that dream. The opportunity takers, where talent develops and fortune favors the brave. AFC Challenge League. The future of Asian club football shines brightly with the all-new AFC Women's Champions League. For the first time ever, Asia's top 12 women's clubs will converge to showcase their talent and compete for ultimate glory. This is more than just a competition. It is a powerful symbol of innovation and inclusivity, inspiring generations of female athletes to chase their dreams and write their own stories on the pitch. This is the AFC Women's Champions League.
Breaking new ground for women's club football in Asia. 12 of the best teams, chasing greatness, inspiring generations. It is contested competition. To crown the
Hello and welcome back to this AFC Champions League Two Group E matchday. One game between Sydney and Eastern here at the Jubilee Stadium. And at half-time, Sydney lead by 2-0. For a long time in the first half, it looked as though Sydney were in too much of a hurry to try and secure a goal. But on 33, a lovely pullback by Grant, their captain, and Kahim, who turned it in from 7 yards. And Grant himself got in on the action late on in the first half, 44 minutes, when he literally manoeuvred Hinting Lam out the way and just bowed to head the ball into the bottom corner of Hung Fai Yap's goal. It is, we're waiting to see if there's going to be a change. We think there will be a change because there was a midfielder for Eastern that went off limping. Marcus Gondra was limping at the end of the first 45. And indeed, it doesn't look as though they've been able to patch him up, because I think there is a substitute waiting to come on. And it is indeed the number 2. It is Kwon Chung Leung, who actually started at the weekend, that is going to replace Marcus Gondra. So Kwon Chung Leung comes on. Might just be a change in formation. Did play it full back at the weekend. We'll wait to see. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the Sydney side. They have Devon Mears in goal. Grant, Matthews, King and Courtney Perkins across the back from right to left. Midfield of Kakares, Sena and Kahim, with Costa, Klimala and Lolly the front three. In the all-white for Eastern, it is Yap in goal. They have a back four of Jojo, Almazan, Kozabayev and Callum Hall. And then they have Chung Pong Leung in the middle of the park with Hinting Lam. And now Kwon Chung Leung is well in the middle of the park. And then their front three has been Noah Bafo, Victor Bortomeo and Jesse Yu. Second half underway. What were the words of the coaches have been at half-time? Today's referee is Thorik Al-Khatiri, assisted by Bang Bang, Sayam Sudar and Nur Hadi, the two match assistants. And of course the fourth official is Yudi Nurkaya. Lolly and Kahim send over the corner. Klimala inside the 6-yard box. Matthews, Courtney Perkins being guarded on the edge of the box. Grant's there as well. Grant! Oh, he nearly had it second. Wow. He may well throw his head back to the heavens, because again, he's just strolled away from the captain there, Chun Pong Leung. And Eastern really have only themselves to blame for their poor marking. They're giving the ball away in their own half again. Costa, Courtney Perkins, ball comes to meet him. Costa again, first time ball in, bit of space here. Klimala goes up, can't really get any power on the header. Always going slightly back away from goal to try and redirect it. Baffo with a header on. Strong challenge on this near side by Joel King. Baffo trying to go past two, does so. In the end, bundled to the floor. Joel King protests his innocence, but I think there was a little bit of Courtney Perkins with him as well. A little bit of a satellite delay between the touch and then the collapsing of the legs. Chung Leung stands over it, but it's delivered to the edge of the box. Rather easy header away, in fairness, from Sydney. Almazan's chest down. Lam flicks the ball out far side. Well, Baffo, I think, will be flagged offside. And indeed, it's a decent quickness of flag, instead of one of those delayed ones which irritate everybody in the ground and in the commentary box. Caceres. Grant into Sena. Kahim back to Sena. Kahim, Grant, Lolly down the line. Sena tries to pick a pass in, always looked a bit hard. Stood in there by Daniel Almazan. Tug on the shirt there of Hing-Ting Lam. And Anas Kahim gets the second yellow card of the game. Almazan. Leung, well, he got away with a slip there. Ball, time and space. Lam. Baffo will be offside, I think. Just seemed to go before the ball was played, but fairness to Matthews, he got there first. Ball into Noah Baffo. Good defensive work by Joel King. Klimala back to Kahim. Kahim trying to set Lolly away. He's got himself in front of Alexander Jojo. Jojo touched tight now, but always chasing, if that makes sense. Lolly with a crossfield finds Costa. Costa delivers a decent ball. Klimala was a target. Spanish man, Daniel Almazan, is the one that gets the ball away. Costa, lovely feet, fires a shot in. Keeper well positioned there. Wrong fire. Again, Hing-Ting Lam was late on the scene and made it easy for Costa to turn away and get the shot off. Alexander Jojo. Greatest touch by Jesse Yu. Ball is gone into a challenge there with Courtney Perkins, but he's got the benefit of the doubt. Scotsman plays for the Hong Kong side. Callum Hall. Bertomeo. Hall. Baffo tries to lay the ball forward. Sydney in control of the football. Sena. Courtney Perkins to Costa. Well, Sydney have the game where they want now, and it's about managing the game. What they will be conscious of is goals scored. But the first priority will be to get over the line with the 3 points safely in the bag. Caceres. Turned out near side. Courtney Perkins won't get that. Is there a deflection on that? Seemed to intimate that there was. Part of my fears for the side from Hong Kong, Eastern. It could be a long 45 minutes. Costa and Kahim stand over this corner. Costa pulls it away. Very good front post out of there by Klimala. Because he was beyond the front post, it was always going to be a tough ask to try and redirect it towards that top corner. Wasn't a million miles away, but he was away from the target. Lam. Our ball forward. The greatest bit of work there by Young in the middle of the park. Loose ball's got a break to Klimala. He's offside. Yourself in the mindset of Roberto Losada, the Eastern coach. Where's his priorities? What's his priorities? Does he try and block things up at a 2-0 and maybe just take one of those chances they did fashion in the first half? Lovely flick by Klimala. It is a real good goal, and Kahim gets his second on 55. Straight ball in. Klimala knew exactly where the attacking midfielder was. Lovely little flick round the corner. And Kahim makes it 3 on 55. Lovely flick there. And Kahim presses the mind just to sweep it past Yap. And that is cohesive, precise play without cluttering it up. That's what I'm talking about when you get a side that you feel you have the ascendancy over in quite a measurable way. If you play your football, it will come. And Kahim gets his second. Possibly wonderful play there by Sydney. Costa making a run in behind. His no-look pass was into the feet of Klimala. The layoff was just perfect. Knew where his third man running from midfield, Kahim, was, and it's just one touch and swept in. Eastern now. They may get a sense of easing in the pressure on them now, because I think Sydney may well fall down the same trap they had in the first half, which is everybody going forward. As you can see, we've got plenty of blue shirts forward again. Lolly, he'll want one. Good toe in there by Kozabayev. Bertomeo holds the ball up nicely. Young can't get his pass off. Again, Grant's pass is poor. Jesse Yu plays it out far side. And Kun Chung Leung can't keep it in play. Eyebrows raised around the commentary box with the beauty of simplicity of the goal from Sydney. Have been guilty of rather all, well, the ball going forward, and the next thing you hear in the word charge, and they're all running towards the penalty area. But that one was absolutely everything that you want from playing simplistic football. I have to say, Ryan Grant and Courtney Perkins, the two full-backs, have been not in their full-back berths much of this game. Costa, Sena, King, Courtney Perkins. Look at the space Matthews has got if he can just look inside. Matthews has got an absolute acre to run into the centre half. Clipped long, Klimala's trying to run in behind. Being chased all the time by Almazan. Flag goes up. Well, the Sydney head coach, Ufuk Talay, will be a more relaxed coach on the touchline now. But he now knows it's bonus time for his side. He won't say it to your face, but inside he'll be quietly confident that the game is now won. And he'll be hoping that his side, one, don't open the back door, but two, can make the most of their ascendancy to try and make the goal difference nice. Grant on the overlapping run. Alexander Jojo's got the pace of the veteran. Almazan round the corner. Ting Ting Lam tries to get Jesse Yu away, who just runs straight through Matthews. Jesse Yu tries to find Baffo, but good positioning there by Joel King. Just, was it good positioning or was he passed to? Is it difficult to say, really? Him is now on a hat-trick. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that he might get it as well. The little number 8 is on a yellow card, 2 goals to his name. Thinking to myself, he just needs to put it in with his head now for the perfect hat-trick as well. 1 left and 1 right. Lolly. Cacares. Matthews. Costa. Lovely bit of skill. Well, opening from Alexander Jojo, whose swipe clearance is sent it out for a corner. Oh, the flexibility of youth. Tried that in my youth, I'd have done it. But I tried it now, I'd have put 2 hips out and both knees would have been dislocated. Kahim with a corner. Decent one in. Well, I have to say, that looks more of a penalty than I've ever seen. Grant manhandled to the floor. I think our referee thought it. Al-Khatiri, who brandishes a yellow card to the captain, Chun Pong Leung. Oh my word. And this is, first of all, that's desire from Grant. And secondly, it's poor defending from the Eastern captain. And here we are on 61. And Patrick Kimala steps up to take the penalty. Kimala versus Yap. What a save by Yap as well. Well, Klimala, who was hoping that his was going to be his first goal of the season, has quite simply fluffed his lines. And it was a good save as well. Wondered if he'd actually come off his line early. But Klimala playing the price there for not really putting it in the corner. Whoa, that's a big over-the-top tumble there by Yap. Very uncomfortable looking drop. Bertomeo trying to put Devinis Mears under pressure. And again, Leung was the man with Grant. And Ma is coming on. He's going to replace Jesse Yu. To the dual nationality Jesse Yu, he's found it difficult to get into the game. He hasn't been the only one. Paul to Bertomeo. Paul doesn't take it with him. Sena. Lolly turns to run at Jojo again. Outside he goes, crosses it in. Oh, and it's a fine goal. Daniel Almazan with a fine finish past his own goalkeeper. I shouldn't say that because it's quite hurtful, but you would go a long way to bury a header past your own keeper with such speed, pace and positional skills. He's trying to clear it past the post. You'll hear an old aged commentator like myself tell you that when you put the ball across the face of the goal and the defender's facing his goal, it is so tough. And Daniel Almazan found exactly that. Knew he had to try and block the cross and get it wide of his goal, but in the end has planted a full forehead on it into the back of the net. And he will want the ground to open up. Lolly got the cross across. And Almazan. It is a banger of a header past his own keeper. Eastern now, the gravity of the situation is that they need to really try and retain a degree of hold on this game without disappearing into the sunset. They are going that way rapidly here, 4 down, and they've conceded a penalty which wasn't converted. Courtney Perkins, King. Costa comes short. Oh, it's a little bit unnecessary. Kahim is on a yellow card. Well, Hayden and his nose are having to disappear, and Popovic is coming on. Alexander Popovic to sit in the back line. Ball tries to go round Courtney Perkins. I think he kept the ball in. King clears. Well, that sums up Eastern State. Leung rattling the ball straight into the side of the head of his own player. Hall again, chance to measure a ball in. Too many blue shirts there. Noah Baffo. Well, just for a moment, Devonish Mears was just diving away to his left for a moment. Was the one that got it full in the side of the head from the shot earlier on from Leung. Powerful header forward by Almazan. Joel King with plenty of time to bring it down. Wander about, having not played. Oh my God. I don't know. That's the footballer in me just coming out, you know. Devonish Mears, how long do you want to have on the football? Again, almost allows the ball to be smothered. I don't want to use this phrase because it sounds a little bit undeserving of Eastern, but maybe a better side as Lolly comes in. Kahim, Grant. Maybe a side that maybe a little bit more switched on than Eastern will make Sydney struggle with those sort of casual errors at the back. 68, Sydney 4, Eastern 0. Costa to deliver. Side netting. Thought he'd have a little go, hoping that the goalkeeper had got himself the wrong way. Well, Costa's action is over, and Max Burgess will come on. I think that's a fairly astute move from Talai. The Brazilian fans well and truly happy that their hero gets to walk around the ground now. But at 4-0, Talai needs to make sure that some of his talent is not put under too much pressure. The season will start shortly for them. Burgess, Courtney Perkins, Caceres, Courtney Perkins back to goal, Caceres again, Courtney Perkins, nice little lapping run, digs the ball out towards the back post, coming in is Grant, puts it back in where it should do, Almazan with the ball out, Lolly with a shot that's blocked. To let you know, for Sydney, they will have played Eastern today. Kaya and Hiroshima, well no, Kaya, before they start their league season on the 19th, when they take on Western Sydney. A couple of changes here. Noah is off. Second substitution is Hinting Lam. Again, coming on is Ho Chun Wong. We're in the 11. Plays at the weekend. And he is joined there by Tung Ki-young. We're in the 42. And as I'm scribbling, the ball is in the back of the net. Callum Hall not happy. Burgess on as a substitute makes it 5-0. I make no bones about it. Looking down at my notes for the substitutions, Klimala's shot. Burgess plays it against the body of Leung, and it's into the back of the net. Tend to think that that is going to be an own goal, but again, it is Eastern playing football in an area that they shouldn't be and losing possession of the football. Lolly slips it in, flags up. Klimala thinks he's got his first goal. A little bit of consolation, I would say, for Roberto Losada is that when this tape is available and he sits his side down, there are so many footballing errors that they can work on, and it sounds a bit condescending to say that, but there are things that they can look at and things they can realize they cannot do in the context of playing a match of football, and that is a really big thing. Bertomeo tries to get the ball forward, covered off by Joel King. just a little too easy again for Sydney. Lead by 5, could be 6, and have one disallowed as well. And a penalty saved, look at that. 1. Supported by Jojo. Jojo with a high hanging ball. Headed away by Courtney Perkins. Ball goes Abayev. He's passed it into a lovely space, which allows Patrick Klimala to drive forward, and Lee is driving forward too. There's a chance here. Good covering this time in the middle of the park by Tung Ki Young. Sydney still come forward. There's still a fair chunk of the game left to play. Grant with the run in behind. First time layoff. Zabayev puts it away for the corner. Big characters now required by Eastern. You're 5-0 down. You've been on the end of a very heavy sort of possessional challenge throughout this game. You've made mistakes. You must not make any more. You've got to get your head together, do your jobs from here on in. No more conceding of goals. That should be the mentality. Corner comes in. There's Abayev with the flick at the front post. Again, Sydney pick up the loose ball. Grant's feels he should have had a throw there. That's some lively language. Roberto Losada will have to try now to just pinpoint where the errors are and how to try and avoid them. That is difficult if your managerial mindset is to play football out from the back. Deep cross across the face of goal. Ball will get there. Will be met by Burgess. King. Devonish Mears. Ball still down on the floor, by the way. Goes Abayev, tries to play it forward. Throws off the leg of Wong. If there'll be one person on the field to play for Sydney that will be a wee bit disappointed, it will be the Polish striker Patrick Klimala. Not so much with his performance, but the fact that his side have got 5, and he's playing centre forward, and he's really not had a chance on goal, and then was gifted an opportunity from the spot, which he spurred, and he will be desperate. Centre forwards want to score goals. He'll be desperate to get himself a goal, because the opposition are on their knees somewhat. Hall, who was vocal after the conceding of the 5th goal. Lifted to his feet. Well, it looks as though there's going to be a further change. Gurung Prabhat is about to come on. Jojo Bertomeo trying to run in the gap, but good starting position by the Sydney keeper there. Devonish Mears, who cushioned header down. Party tricks coming out from Kahim. Burgess with a chance to go forward. Kahim receives it back. The pressure, his ball out to Courtney Perkins isn't great. Hall wins the 1 to get it back. Quick feet on this near side by Tun Ki-young. Manages to find a pass out of the back. Goes a buy-up across to Jojo. Again, trying to play football. And Sydney enjoy the fact that they can press them. Bit of space here for Callum Hall. Nobody looking for the ball there either. I think his first touch inside wasn't great. Killed off a couple of runs. Hall's down again. This could be the end of his afternoon. Right ankle appears to be a wee bit sore, and it is the end of Callum Hall's game. And Prapat comes on to replace him. Ice pack will be ready for him on the bench. Never sure if you have to go and shake the hands of the head coach when you wander off. That's a good sign or a bad sign. Yat, that may have beaten in the air by King. Couldn't be kept in play by Caceres. Up with the throw. Goes with Bayev. Fight, yep, the man that saved the penalty. Down to Bayev. Easy header away at the back. By the substitute Popovic. Again, given away by Easton. Kahim. Caceres from Sena. A few old heads here now, just retaining possession. Quite demoralising, doing shuttle runs between two players who are just passing it for fun between each other. Sena. Caceres. Maybe allowed it to get a bit deep, but King makes the angle inside and is found. Courtney Perkins, Burgess. Caceres, Burgess, Sena with the jog back to the halfway line. So by the time they'll have played 3 Group E matches, Sydney, they will have played 1 game in the league. It's the way to start. Start up with Champions League 2 football. Sena. Kahim. Just run into a little bit of trouble. Caceres. Always going wide there at the right post. If you are an Eastern fan watching this, sad to say the best part of the day is you're in the final 10 regulation minutes. Kahim is replaced. No hat-trick for the young man. 2 fine goals on 33 and 55. And he's replaced by Corey Holman. Well, for 32 minutes, it was a case of Sydney camping out in the eastern half, but they couldn't break the deadlock. But on 33 they did. And from there on in, the game was never really in doubt. Kamala there thought he was going to get the verdict, but didn't. Zabayev into Jojo. Caceres, Courtney Perkins. Burgess goes down the line, back inside it comes. This time, Lolly was the man that's getting involved. Burgess, can he deliver? Big header away. Popovic. Sena. Caceres being chased back. Sena. Caceres, lovely outside of the boot gate. Klimala. Well, he took it on the full quickly. I think the flag is up on the far side again. Referee's assistant on the far side. Collar looks like I've gone into a shop and just guessed my shirt collar size. Which I often do, by the way. Well, there's a lot of relaxation flowing through the veins of the Sydney players now. At least then they will be hoping that they can reach the final whistle without too much alarm. Yeah, with the long kick forward. Thurston Mayo's gone underneath. The header on this side by Wong. Sena. Grant. Popovic. Sena. Layoff around the corner by Lolly. Grant into the football by Almazan. Holman. Lolly. It's a fortunate ricochet there. Still going. Zabayev clears it. Norman. Caceres. Lolly layoff. Caceres. Burgess. Overlap here for Courtney Perkins. Can he get there? Digs a decent ball out. Free header. Oh dear. Lolly. I say oh dear because I think that should have hit the target. Should be making the keeper save there. Should really be scoring. It's a lovely dugout ball there by Courtney Perkins. And Courtney Perkins was aided by the fact that he had to rush it. He didn't have all the time in the world to pick a spot. He had to knock it naturally into the box. I often find that's the best way of putting crosses in, because when you've got time to measure it, it's often the worst thing in the world for you. Misplaced, mishit. But under pressure, you do an instinctive cross, and that was a fine cross there by Courtney Perkins. Burton Mayo. There's a derisory look there at the man on the near side, Wong, but I have to say, in fairness to Wong, that was a little bit behind the player. Sena, Holman, Caceres, Popovic, King, Holman, Sena, Burgess found with ease, back to goal, Caceres trying to find Klimala, good clearance there by Almazan. Walking pace now really for Sydney United. If they can get another one, all well and good, but they'll do it without causing themselves any alarm at the back. Sena going forward. Holman. Lolly. Burgess coming short. Time to turn into the feet of Lolly. Lolly to Courtney Perkins across the face of goal. And that really is a clearing header that Danny Almazan knew very little about. Burgess takes the corner short. King, Burgess lets it run for Sena. Sena inside to Cacares. Chance here for Holman. Does he pull the trigger? He does. Always rising off the instep of the right boot. Well, Sydney will be happy. They've done what they needed to do. Goes Abayev with the ball into the middle of the half. Turned on. And the flag goes up for offside on Bertomeu. Approaching the end of the 89th minute. Burgess. Holman got Grant to his right. Klimala, Grant, Lolly. Holman again. Sena. Just been too much movement for Eastern. They've been given a rather chastening evening here in the Champions League Two. Slipping Sena puts the ball a long way wide. Well, we wait to see how many minutes will be added on. Pretty sure Roberto Losada is quite happy it's only 3. Almazan with the long ball forward. Offside again. Bertomeu. He's played a lone furrow at the top of the park, but has become an increasingly dispirited figure in the second half. Holman invited to run forward. Klimala couldn't keep it in play. He'll be a disappointed gentleman. And it will weigh heavily on his mind as a striker. That penalty miss. First of a minimum of 3 has already elapsed. Burgess time to turn. Courtney Perkins. Yet again, always willing to receive the ball in the wide areas. Back to Holman. Holman with the deep ball looking for Grant. Grant with a header down. Lolly, chest. Volley blocked. That should be another corner to end proceedings. Young was the man that blocked it. Corner's taken quickly. Lolly. Poor header away. It's going to be picked up by Sena. Sena, right foot. Can he finish it? Well, it's a fine save actually in the end by Hung Fei Yap. Going away to his left-hand side. He'll be disappointed that Sena could just wander across the face of his 80-yard box and fire a shot in. Still though, Sydney looking to put a cherry on top of the cake. We're into the final of the minimum of 3 to be added on here at the end of this game. Sydney lead, as you can see from our graphics, by 5 goals to 0. Yap tries the ball long, headed away by King. Jojo round the corner, chance here now for Mark. bit too quick, the pressing and the play by Sydney. We're into the final throes of this game. Referee says that's enough. 32 minutes. Sydney capped in the half of Eastern, and then on 33, a Grant fullback saw Kahim get the first of his goals, tucking it in for one. Grant then stooped to header one in on 44 for 2-0 at the break. And that really saw the collapse of Eastern in the second half. 55, a really beautiful piece of football. Saw Kahim get his second before Klima had the chance to extend it from the spot for 4-0, but saw it saved by Yap. 5 was an Almazan own goal, and 6 was a Leung I say 5 was an own goal, and so was the last goal as well. It finished at 5-0. So many goals, I couldn't count them up properly for you. Kahim, Grant Kahim, and Almazan, and then Leung. That's the damage. It's finished here. Sydney 5, Eastern 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this match at Jubilee Stadium.